What's going on, Guardians? It's Tizzle here. In this video, we'll be taking a look at some loadouts and strategies to use to beat the empty tank lost sector on legend difficulty. To do this, the first thing you need to know are the modifiers for this lost sector. It is a fallen lost sector, meaning you have barrier servitors and overload captains. The modifier is Arachno, which makes fallen vandals drop a web mine at their feet when they're defeated. This lost sector has solar burn, meaning solar damage both dealt and received is increased by 50%. The boss and the overload captains both deal solar damage, so watch out for that. This lost sector only has arc shields to deal with, and as is always the case, we have locked loadout, match game, extra shields, and limited revives. With that out of the way, let's take a look at the first build. We'll showcase the Titan first, as I think this is the best overall loadout for this lost sector. We're on Middle Tree Striker, Code of the Missile, running the exotic chest piece Curse of the Falling Star, which makes our Thunder Crash deal more damage. We have Elemental Ordnance on to spawn an Elemental Well when we get a grenade kill. We have Elemental Charge on to gain 2 stacks of Charge with Light when we pick up an Elemental Well. And then we have 3 Argent Ordnance mods on to make our Rocket Launcher hit for 35% more damage. We have Arc Damage Resistance and Concussive Dampener on for survivability, as there is lots of arc damage in this lost sector. We have Double Innervation on our boots for getting grenade energy back when we pick up Orbs of Power. And we have Double Bomber on our class item to get grenade energy back when we put down our barricade. We also have 90 Discipline so that we can get a lot of grenades. Lastly, we have a rocket launcher ammo finder just to help us not run out of rockets. For weapons, we have the Biting Winds kinetic bow with sympathetic arsenal. This will reload our rocket launcher whenever we get a kill with our bow. We have the exotic hand cannon Ariana's Vow for taking down the barrier servitor's shields. And with solar burn on, this is even more effective than usual. And lastly, we have the Ritual Solar Rocket Launcher Ascendancy. This will be doing 35% extra damage thanks to Argent Ordnance when we are charged with light, and another 20% more damage on top of that if we have the perk Explosive Light active from picking up an Orb of Power. If you can make it out of the first room quickly and cleanly, then you can farm this lost sector very fast. The first room can definitely be a pain, as enemies really use their cover well. Warmine cells used to be a go-to here, but sadly, they cannot clear out the room nearly as easily anymore. My one piece of advice is always let the servitor put its shield up before you shoot a rocket. It will blink away from your rocket if you just aim and shoot, but if it puts its barrier up first, then you can pop the shield and it will be stunned. This is when you want to shoot your rocket. Once you are through the first room, you want to kill all the adds with a grenade to give yourself 2 stacks of Charge with Light. You can then use your rocket to take out the Overload Captain. Use another grenade on the dogs as they run out, and then take out the Colossus with Ariana's in your rocket. And then you can Thunder Crash the boss and servitors up top as soon as the fallen barrier goes down. You want to do it immediately as all the enemies are clumped up together. This will delete everything and you can run to the end and grab the chest. This is a super quick and fun farm with this loadout. Ariana's is pretty much always the play if you have barrier shields this season, and with solar burn on top of it, it is a no-brainer. But let's look at some other builds you can run if for some reason you don't have Ariana's Vow. Next up, we have the Hunter build. For this build, we are on Top Tree Night Stalker, Way of the Trapper. We have 100 mobility and the exotic chest piece 6 Coyote so that we can dodge to go invisible a lot. We have a Charge with Light build with Taking Charge and Shield Break Charge on for gaining stacks of Charge with Light. We have Powerful Friends on for the increased mobility, and we are running Lucent Blade to allow our sword to deal 35% extra damage when we are charged with light. We are running Overload Sword, and we have Sword Ammo Finders, Reserves, and Scavengers on. We also have Arc Damage Resistance and Passive Guard on for survivability. For weapons, we have the exotic grenade launcher Witherhoard to help with ad clear, and the Arc Auto Rifle Shadow Price for dealing with the Arc Shield, and in case a barrier servitor pops its shield. For our sword, we have the Solar Sword Negative Space to delete champions. That is pretty much it for the build. Let's check out the run. One other build that works really good here is Bottom Tree Golden Gun with the exotic helmet Celestial Nighthawk. This allows you to one-shot the boss with one golden gun shot, and then you can just take out the barrier servitor in the boss room and head to the chest. But because we were running a sword, I opted to go with invisibility just so that we could survive easier, because obviously running something like a sword puts you in dangerous positions, so it is good to have a get out of jail free card with invisibility. Now, the boss decided to be weird on this run and go into the doorway here, so I will show a clip of how the boss fight is supposed to go. Finally, we have the Warlock build. For this build, we are on Bottom Tree Dawnblade, the Attunement of Flame. We have the exotic gauntlets Sun Bracers so that we can spam grenades when we get a charged melee kill. They also make our solar grenades burn longer. We once again are using Taking Charge with 3 Argent Ordnance mods to make our rockets even stronger. And this time we are using the solar rocket launcher Hezen Vengeance with Vorpal Weapon and Overflow. We also have the seasonal artifact mod Withering Heat to apply a debuff to champions with our solar abilities. This is definitely overkill at my light, but if you're a lower light, this mod is amazing, so I wanted to include it. We have Overload Bow with the Trinity Ghoul, which is wonderful for taking out adds, and for barrier shields, we have the Kinetic Auto Rifle Horror Story. You can get this right now from Festival of the Lost. Mine is an old one that I had kept around and has Osmosis on it, which is great in Lost sectors because when I throw a grenade, it will change the damage to solar so that I can take advantage of the solar burn. And I have 100 discipline on, so I'll be able to check lots of grenades. Lastly, I have solar damage resistance and concussive dampener on for survivability, and a rocket launcher ammo finder and scavenger mod so I don't run out of rockets. That is it for the build. Enjoy the run. Overall, this Lost sector is not too bad to farm at all. The Titan run was 2.5 minutes, but you can easily average 3 to 4 minute clears on any character, obviously depending on your light level. If you are lower light, then this one can be a little more difficult than others just because of that first room. The barrier servitor will make adds immune, and the adds will constantly be lobbing grenades and sniping at you, so it is hard to take out the servitor. But if you can get it down, then it is just a matter of being patient and picking off adds. So this is not the best farm, but it's certainly not the worst. It is far better than any Moon Lost sector. That being said, the Tangled Shore is being placed in the Destiny content vault after this season. So if you like this Lost sector, you better take advantage of it and run it this season. And if you hate this Lost sector, then good news, you won't have to deal with it for a while. But that is going to do it from me. If you enjoyed this video, then a like would be greatly appreciated. And if you want to see more content like this, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss any uploads in the future. If you made it this far, then thank you so much for watching. Happy Lost sector farming, Guardians, and take care.